Steve knows the Outback like no other, but on this trip, he's heading into the unknown.
You always get a bit nervous when you're doing something new. I don't care how old you are.
His destination is in Australia's far north, at the end of a run most truckers wouldn't dare face. Ahead are 2,000 kilometres of bitumen through the vast Western Australian desert. And soon he'll hit the dirt, where his speed will drop to keep his fragile load safe. Out here, the roads are as tough as they come. Steve's beaten most of Australia's roughest runs, but he's never dared take on the road ahead.
My worries now is how good or bad that road is. There's the dirt. We've hit the dirt.
As he leaves the bitumen behind, Steve's on high alert.
This next 400 kilometres, I'll be looking at new country.
But soon, he's met by a familiar foe.
Welcome to my old mates, the corrugations.
The corrugations are giving the truck a beating.
They're doing damage to your trailers, your running gear. They're doing damage to your freight. If this keeps up, I'll have to poke along even more slowly, like walking pace.
And ahead is another hazard.
We're at the Goyder River. Just about to get the Goyder River crossing done.
But first, he needs to check the load.
Now, I've got a serious problem here.
The crane's engine has taken a huge hit.
The spare tyre carrier's fallen to bits. It's dropped back. The tyre's obviously bounced up. It smashed the return line to the hydraulics and it's busted off the air intake under here.
With the crane's hydraulics smashed, Steve has no way to unload his vital freight. The damage bill could cost thousands. With daylight fading, a temporary fix is his only hope.
I'm just sealing this stuff up so it won't get any dirt in it. I didn't think its own tyre was going to come back and hit it. It's the worst possible, absolutely worst nightmare that could ever happen because it's going on a barge to an island, one of the most remote places in Australia.
By the time Steve's made repairs, it's night. Now he'll face the river, driving near blind.
I don't know if there's saltwater crocs in this river or not. There probably is. I'll take it for granted that there are.
If he loses traction, he could grind to a halt, with no choice but to enter dangerous waters.
Fingers crossed.
He's through, and one step closer to getting help for his damaged trailer.
At camp tonight, and I'll get up very early and I'll start idling in. This is a nightmare, and I've got to get on with it now.
If he can't get the crane engine fixed in time, Steve will miss the barge, leaving a community without solar power. Every few kilometres, he must stop to check his temporary fix is holding. With the high tide just hours away, it's the last thing Steve needs. But ahead, there's a glimmer of hope.
Well, I'm hit some bitumen, so I reckon I'm about 20 or 30k out of town. Find somewhere to set myself up and start fixing this bloody engine.
Now, the whole job hangs on whether Steve can find a mechanic. Out here, it won't be easy. But at last, Steve's caught a break.
I've got onto a mechanic by the name of Brad. He's going to come and have a look at this.
If he's to make the barge, the repair needs to be done here and now.
Now, what's happened is this tyre rack's gone here.
The engine mounts are gone, and the hydraulic lines have been ripped out. But the biggest casualty is the air filter.
That's yep.
It's a complex repair job, but with no time, Brad must improvise, giving it all in punishing heat.
It's lost maybe 80 litres of hydraulic fluid, so we'll pump the hydraulic fluid in it.
This is the last drum of Brad's oil. This is the last drum of oil in town. We'll go and hit the starter and see what happens. Oh, yeah, might have got full of dust and shit, mate.
It's jammed.
But his damaged trailer still isn't fixed.
The actual cooling fan now is jammed in the radiator housing.
To make the fan blades spin, they'll have to be trimmed by taking to the engine with an electric saw. It's a painful sight, but it's Steve's last throw of the dice.
It's not pretty, but it'll have to do.
You good to go?
Yep.
Going. Righto, mate, I can't see anything. Just tell me what's happening.
Yep, we're good.
Now he needs to make that all-important barge. With high tide less than an hour away, it's a final dash to the dock. After 4,500 grueling kilometres, Steve's made it, and just in time. While the barge has made land, now the tide's turning. It must leave quickly or run aground. To hold the barge in place, the skipper pushes his engines to full power. The smallest error from him or Steve could land his truck in deep water.
We just got on just in time to catch this tide. ETA Elko Island sometime tonight, 9 or 10 o'clock.
By nightfall, Steve's close. As skipper Adam knows, the next hazard will be unloading the huge truck onto an isolated strip of beach in the pitch black. It's vital the barge's ramp isn't lying at too steep an angle.
Oh, not bad, not bad. Not bad. I think we'll get her there, mate.
Yeah, it's good, eh? It's really
Yep.
good.
Shit, we got luck here, I think, Jimmy.
The angle may be good, but now Steve will have to reverse his 20-metre long truck off the narrow barge. Blind.
How am I looking on that engine, mate? This truck's off the barge. I've got a huge sense of relief. Tomorrow morning I'll unload this, and tomorrow's another day. I've got about 60 kilometres to go to delivery, and they told me it's a really badly corrugated road. I cannot relax till I get in there and have that thing in one piece to lift this off. I just cannot relax. It's as simple as that. I'm going to drive very, very slowly if it takes me all day to deliver my freight. And this is how the day will go. I will just idle along. At least the scenery's pretty.
Faced with deep corrugations, Steve's reduced to a crawl to protect his rig.
I've only come 12.5 kilometres. It could be anything to deal with yet. The next 40k. My mind's constantly worried about that bloody engine hanging under that trailer. That's what I'm thinking about.
It's painfully slow going, but there's worse to come.
This is soft, gutless sand through here. A little bit scary, this stuff.
Steve's worst fears are confirmed. An ocean away from help, he's stuck fast. It's grueling work, but Steve will have to deflate every one of his 22 tyres. But Steve's not going anywhere soon. And behind him, a tropical traffic jam is starting to build up. Finally, Steve's ready.
Dropping the tyres to 20 pound worked. It got me out of that bog hole back there. I was worried that whether it would or wouldn't, but it did.
At last, there's signs of civilization.
I'd say I'm nearly there.
After carving his way through the jungle, he's made it to the drop-off. After 4,800 kilometres at last, Steve can unload the precious solar power equipment.
We are all unhooked up there. My next little moment is what these things look inside. And that all looks good. That all looks good. You happy, Errol?
Yep.
If Errol's happy, I'm happy. Well, that's an absolute relief.
But Steve's work is far from done. Back on the mainland, he still has a second container to deliver to the remote community of Ninuk. And from out of nowhere comes a hammer blow.
They've just told me I can't get in by road. Road access is impossible.
There's only one way to get Steve's truck into Ninuk: another barge.
What my worry is that this barge doesn't slide back into the river when I start to push it.
If the skipper Ben can't hold it in place, Steve's truck could shove the barge off the bank, landing him in the river. To make things even tougher, he's reversing into a space less than 20 centimetres wider than his truck.
That gap I've got to put my trailer in is 2,700 millimetres. My trailer's 2,500 and a bit.
He has only millimetres to spare. But Steve's on. The next stop is 60 kilometres away, at the remote community of Ninuk. To deliver his fragile solar equipment, Steve will have to unload his truck onto a beach in uncharted waters.
Now I start to worry about this afternoon.
And there's another headache. The barge will wait for Steve while he delivers his freight, but there's just 4 hours until the next high tide, when Ben will cast off, with or without him.
If he's not back on the boat by 8 o'clock tonight, Steve could get stranded there because we've got a time frame to get off.
With the barge, his truck, and hundreds of thousands of dollars at risk, all eyes are on the shore.
This is always the nervous part. It's not till that door opens and you really see the beach that you know what you're in for. That's where we're going to put it in, on that rocky shore there.
It's now down to Ben. Too close and he could run aground. Too far out and Steve risks getting bogged as he drives off.
Christ, that's beautiful.
With the barge secure, the next worry is the low-hanging engine underneath his $100,000 crane trailer.
My main concern is that bloody engine. Can't afford to stuff that at this point.
If it gets damaged, Steve won't be able to lift the precious solar equipment off his truck,
Looks like we're good to go.
costing him hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's just millimetres between delivery and disaster.
See how the ramp's just down in a bit of a hole there?
If he pushes on, Steve risks tearing a hole in his fuel tanks. To lower the sharp angle, Ben must push as close to land as he dares.
That got us in a lot more. The angle's definitely better.
While the angle's better, it's still perilously tight. If he can't get off now, Steve will have to abandon the delivery just metres from land. But suddenly, the rear of the truck is dangerously close to hitting the rocky beach as it drops off the ramp. If it does, the crane engine under his trailer could be smashed, ruining the whole operation.
We're just trying to lift the back of the trailer up on the timbers.
The crew need to raise the rear of the truck to give it more clearance.
I'll get you up on them timbers and we'll see how it goes.
Righto, mate. We'll see what we got.
The rear's still not high enough. Steve must be back on board in 3 hours. This is time he can't spare.
We haven't got anything else we can put under this wheel to keep it at that height, like rocks.
It's all hands to the pumps.
We'll chuck them under their back wheels, mate, so they stay up.
Finally, Steve's clear. After 10 days and thousands of kilometres, the finish line is just ahead. It should be a formality to unload the final container.
This has got to go.
But for this Outback trucker, nothing comes that easy.
Oh, this is not a very well set up site.
There's too many obstacles for Steve to manoeuvre his truck to the drop-off.
That shit out of the way and that fence, that's got to go.
There's just hours till the barge leaves. The next isn't for days. Steve must race the tide or be marooned.
Once I start screwing my steer tyres around, that's when I bog. I need absolute straight runs and shit like this.
He must be back on the barge in 2 hours' time or get stranded.
Trying to catch a tide, I've got to get this thing down, so we've got to do a bit of groundwork.
Steve must drop his container in precisely the right spot, right next to the solar power station's framework. He's got no choice but to remove anything in his way.
Just put it over near that tree there somewhere, mate.
The clock's ticking and the ground's soft, but it's now or never for Steve. He must be accurate to the centimetre.
About a foot off him.
High tide's almost here. There's only minutes remaining before the barge will leave.
See your centre holes there? I'm thinking about there. I think I've got to go back about 40 mil. I reckon that's good enough, mate. Yep.
Are you happy with that?
I've got a texture colour there. I'll be happy.
At long, long last, the massive job's finally done.
I can't thank you enough, mate. That's one on the ground, son. Thank you very much. You've got no idea how relieved I am right now.
And for the people of Ninuk, it's the start of a new chapter in their lives.
Only have power at night, 12 hours, sunset to sunrise, and that's it. The family's so happy, they're just so happy we're going to have power in the daytime.